And then I just dropped this in December. The problem that I'm having is I can't keep it in stock. So that's a good thing. So it continuously sells, and I'm trying to broker a couple deals with some people. But the most prosperous thing that's happened as today, back in October, I met with a film company down in Atlanta, Georgia.
Good.
And they had been following the product online, and they wanted to do some work with me. And so they actually sent me an email about 3.5 weeks ago saying they would like to reconvene talks in March about me signing a deal with them. So it's taken off pretty fast, and it's been well received.
Good.
And I think what sets it apart is when people from college pick it up, they invite me out to speak. I've been invited out to do creative writing workshops. I've been out to work with youth in high school and some youth in elementary school. But the first thing that people knows when they read the book, it's like, hey man, this book is, you have references in here to Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. You're talking about the CIA situation in the San Jose Mercury News, written by Gary Webb, talking about the infiltration, the crack in the black community out in Los Angeles. And so when they start picking up on these topics, they invite me out to speak because they recognize, listen, this is a great storyline. And the way you married a lot of black culture with this fiction is really appealing. And so now I have a lot of people calling me up, telling me like, hey, my son or my daughter read your comic book. And it was the first time I've seen them pick up a book and read it from beginning to end and then go back and read it again. And now they're waiting on part 2. So it's doing what it's supposed to do in terms of inciting people about reading.
Sure.
It's doing what it's supposed to do as a comic book, and it's doing what it's supposed to do as a business opportunity for myself.
We may have to invite you down to our college career fair that's coming up. Parks and Recreation is having a college career fair. And when I say college and career fair, it's on March the 16th, 2017 at the Howard High School of Technology.
Okay.
And we're starting at 6:30 to 8:30. So there'll be a lot of colleges there, a lot of careers, and that can be a career. So you could kind of fit in both if we can send you an email.
Oh, it's a career.
You know, yeah, definitely.
Oh, make no doubt about it. The comic book industry, booms.
Okay.
And when you go to a comic book convention and you sell out, you don't go home disappointed.
Sure.
A lot of people can't go there and sell out, but I'm the type of person, if I'm selling my product, I'm gonna stand on top of a table and say what I have to say to get people's attention, because there's nothing shy about me. I gotta believe in what I'm doing.
Yeah, we definitely have to invite you out if you could come down
I'll be there.
On the 16th. Bring
I'll be
everything,
there.
set it up. I think that'll add that power. Yeah, you have some books here.
Well, this is yours.
Oh, this is for me? My man.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
That's your copy.
I'm gonna share this. Can you pick? Yeah, you want to show this? I'm going to share this at when I get back to school.
So this is the book. It's called Syrian Seed, Rise of Rudan. This is actually issue number 0. It's a 12-part series, but when I created the encyclopedia, I wrote it in such a way that each character can break off into his or her own story. So as the enterprise, Syrian Seed tells a quick story, but then the other characters get up and doing to what they want to do. And there's a superhero group in here called the Order of Lights, which is comprised of characters who are graduates of Morgan, Dale State. You know, you brought me here, so I told my man, I said, listen, Steve brought me on, so the next time I see Steve, I want to make sure I have his Norfolk State represented. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and knock that out the box for you.
Appreciate it. I tell you what, I thank you very much for this book. And what we're going to have to do, I mean, somehow with this Act Boom, we're going to bring it live. We wanted to go live and have, like, because right now you're live.
Okay.
And we wanted to go live in the country and throughout the country. So that's going to happen, and I appreciate what you're doing. This is awesome. How many books do you have right now? How many different stories?
No, this is actually my first.
This is the first.
It took me 11 years to design the encyclopedia, and then it took me another 5 years to design the action comic, because remember, I don't draw.
Right.
And what I had to do, I had to shoot images around Trenton, and I had to send them to my artist out in Ohio. And so he re-illustrated the images inside of the comic book that fit the storyline.
Sure.
And then we went set by set. And what makes it interesting is when you go through the book, every single panel inside the book can be taken out of the book and blown up as large as we want. So he did it as though it was a painting. And that takes a lot of time for you to do that. But I told him I wanted the best quality that we could possibly do. And I ended up actually ordering the books over in Taiwan, which Took a little longer, but they had the best printing process. Cost a little bit more, but it was the best process. And anything you put out there, you got to be able to compete with Marvel and DC.
Wow. See Wilmington? See what's going on? It's about connecting dots. It's about bringing people in that know how to do things. We're going to bring you back to Wilmington. I believe at Act Boom, like your posters, what do you call these?
Well, that's actually my cutout.
Your cutout.
Infinite.
Can you imagine the setup? Huh? We can utilize you. This is huge. And I may be going down to the MEAC tournament and videotape it, but I mean, I want to take this and talk about it.
Brother, I'm
You know what I mean?
on board.
I want to talk about this at our school because I'm off right now. I'm on a little short term, but I mean, I'm going back to work, and I want to talk about this because reading is fundamental, and we get people to read, man, especially. You see HBCUs, and it's what it's all about. It's just bringing us together and showing our talents, showing our skills, what we have learned in the HBCU and how important HBCU does impact our community. I appreciate you. Well, I'm going to go to a break, but we're going to come back on and talk about some HBCU things.
I would love to talk about, because I think we need to have a conversation about Morehouse, right?
Okay, I'm going to bring a couple of, the guys are still on, we're going to bring it in, okay? Don't touch that dial. Sir, welcome back to the show. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We have another guest that walked in, but we want to talk a little bit about college and the importance of college. We want to talk about how Bancroft, how Wilmington, how you all became leaders in Wilmington and doing what you do throughout college, and just promoting our colleges and look at the success stories. Each one of these gentlemen on the show right now is a success story, and I thank God for all 3 of you, all 5 of you. All 6 of you.
All 6 of us.
So, welcome to the show. Tone Wash, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing today?
I'm well. Tone Wash, outstanding, phenomenal ball player in Wilmington, Delaware. Tone, you're really from the west side.
No, actually, I'm from the east side. Helen Bennett.
Tone Wash, Concord High School star, West Virginia, South Florida, West Virginia?
South Florida, West Virginia.
Wow.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
Doing great. Just
Welcome to
moved
the
back
show.
from Florida.
Is that right? What you up to these days?
Well, in the food business, real heavy.
Is that right?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Trying to get Miss Helen's old restaurant over there by Bancroft reopened up.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to do a couple things with Mr. Sills regarding the children here in Wilmington.
Appreciate it.
We need to try to save these kids.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to start 5, 6, 7. So that's one of the reasons why I came back home as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, a lot of it's tough out there right now. A lot of kids feel hopeless. You know, like don't know if they can make it. I don't know what it's like in Philly now, but I taught out Philly at the CEP school. But
CEP.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
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 You know, so I taught at CEP, and it was kind of rough. These kids out here, man, they going gun crazy. They shoot. They won't pick up a book, they pick up a gun. So we want to get them back to picking up books so they can understand that if you use a gun, it's going to hurt. We don't look at the outcome because we're not reading on grade level. If we're reading on grade level, we can see the end. We can infer this is going to happen.
Right.
But if you're not reading, you don't care. You know, it's like here and now. So we definitely got some work to do. So Tone's West Virginia, South Florida, Mark's Dell State. He's a Morehouse guy too.
Yes.
What class?
Well, I went for 2 years and then I transferred to Delaware State.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have Dell State, Morehouse. This is good. This is good because I mean our kids in the community need to see.
Right.
And there is hope, and we have a chance. People are doing some good things. Mark, tell me a little bit how you got started and what you're doing right now.
Well, I have been involved with Urban Youth Incorporated the past 20 years. I started my own business about 20 years ago. I run basketball tournaments all over the East Coast and down South for kids to keep them off the street, give them something positive to do, and give them a structured environment, a safe environment. So I've been doing that. I also do basketball leagues. I do clinics. So I stay real busy with the basketball, but I also give back to the community, which I'm very proud of. And I've been doing this the last 20 years.
Wow, Mark, I didn't know you were doing it. I knew you were doing a lot of, you know, Mark mild-mannered too. Mark won't say too much. He's like,
No, he's very quiet.
this is most I ever heard him talk.
Yeah.
That's good, Mark. Maybe I can connect with you with the HBCU Coalition and try to do a MEAC basketball tournament or a MEAC basketball league. You know, Norman, he did a lot with his league, and I mean, that should still go on.
Right.
You know, so maybe we can try to, you know, connect and working with the MEAC schools, maybe we can win a couple scholarships for some kids. You know, get the shirts, you know, the jerseys. You can put a West Virginia jersey in there.
Or Jackson Street Boys Club.
Jackson Street.
Yes.
We want to open Jackson Street Boys Club up.
I'm sure.
You know, that
Great talent.
A
A lot of great talent. A lot of great basketball players from
You
out
go
there.
to Jackson Street, you know, that's very near to my heart right there.
Great
you know?
place, man.
And it's not open, so
Yes.
we need to get Jackson Street back open somehow. You know, it looks like it's a historical landmark, so you can't tear it down, so you might as well utilize it.
Exactly.
You know, did you ever grow up in the boys club in Samantha? You ever been,
I went to the Trenton Boys and Girls Club in Trenton, New Jersey.
really? Were you a ball player?
Football.
Football. Oh, okay.
Actually, funny story. I was actually being recruited by the Ivy Leagues.
Is that right?
And Nebraska and some other schools coming out of high school. And my mother and my guidance counselor got together and said, listen, before you apply to any of those football schools, you want you to do one thing. We want you to go visit Morehouse. And actually, I went down to Morehouse and went to Spelman first. And I never went back, bro. Football was done.
Is that right?
It was over, bro. It was over. Once I saw Spelman, I gave my football career up, bro, and went to Morehouse. It's
Interesting.
over.
Yeah, Spelman, good school. They say if you went to Morehouse, you have something in common down Morehouse. I think if you start in the freshman class, they do something special or something. I'm not sure, but
They give you a Spelman. I mean, you hook up and you're identified with a Spelman sister.
Yes. They
Is that
link.
right?
They link
They
you.
link you up
Yes.
with a Spelman
All
sister.
the Morehouse brothers get linked up with the Spelman sisters.
yeah, we have
Yes.
some.
Really?
You know what?
Yes.
I would like to see some of the Morehouse graduates come out. I wish everybody that's a college graduate would join the HBCU Delaware Coalition. I don't care what college you went to, really. I just think that it's important that we all really connect because we're all similar. But again, we focus on our differences, and we focus on our differences. We work in silos instead of working together. If we work similarities, man, we could grow, man. So, Tone, tell me some more, Tone. What's going on with you?
Well,
Brother?
it's been quite a journey.
Is that right?
Yes, it's been quite a journey. I been doing a lot of different things in Florida. I give a lot of my time to homeless shelters.
Really?
Yes, I've won a lot of contests in Florida, cook-off contests, chili, crab cakes, and part of the proceeds always goes back to those people that are in need. My mother was a great advocate of giving back. She worked at the shelters all the time, she loved people, and it kind of resonated with us as a family.
Tone kind of broke the barrier at Concord, didn't you? You was
Yes, it
one
was
of the only African-American
the barrier.
black
It was only 6 blacks in Concord High School when I transferred.
Wow.
The year after that, desegregation popped in, but that was a very tough year. Breaking into that kind of, especially participating in sports. Concord actually gave me quite a lift, education-wise, out there. It just seemed like it was a little different. And my uncle lived out there as well in Dartmouth Woods, so the transition was very easy.
Yeah, to Concord.
Yes.
Concord's a great school. I teach at the Brandywine School District, so
Yeah.
that's a great school. But I mean, back in those days, what was it, 77, 78?
Wow, we're going back now. You want me to tell my age now,
So you
right?
gotta tell these people. People don't know
75, 1975. I went to Howard High School. I went to
Howard.
Howard High School in '74. The year that Howard became a technical school, I didn't want to trade at that point.
Right.
And I went on to Concord High School. That's the only reason why I transferred from Howard High School, because the old Howard High School was one of the best places, best schools I had ever went to that year. So to have the foundation just lifted up and crushed like that, I didn't want to be a part of the new establishment.
So who was the best of the best ball player at Bancroft, Tone?
Well, you really can't say one person. There's been so many tremendous athletes throughout, not just Bancroft, but throughout all the middle schools in Wilmington, Delaware. A lot of great talent, but it all started with a mentor.
Yeah, how about that?
People to look up to, people to say, hey, you can do it, you can make it. Those things are the things that has been lost over the years. Kind of put under the brush. So I'm back to try to do my part to help, try to help save, the city and Wilmington and the youth and the kids.
Yeah, maybe they put you down Parks and Rec for one of them programs. I'm just saying.
Okay, Mr. Washington.
So, Mr. Matt, so tell me about your experience at Morehouse. You said once you saw Spelman, you stopped playing football. Is it something about Spelman or?
Well, let me tell you this. It's something about Spelman, obviously.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
I once took a class, at Spelman, and it was 44 people in the class. It was 41 women and 3 guys. So, it's something about Spelman. But my first impression, is I was in the history class,
Sure.
and it was 24 guys in my history class freshman year, of which 12 guys were the valedictorians of their respective high schools, and another 10 guys actually graduated second in the class, and it was 2 guys that were the top 1%. And that was just like one class, and I was sitting there, and I remember Dr. Ford having that conversation saying, steel goes sharpen steel in this classroom. And we had to go that freshman week and take the Iowa reading exam. And I remember I flunked the Iowa reading exam miserably. Coming out of high school with a straight A's, I flunked the Iowa reading exam. And it was a very humbling process because you thought you were prepared for college, but matriculating through Morehouse is something different. I don't think I was ever in the classroom where there wasn't people in there that weren't razor sharp. And it was the same way for me when I got to Morgan grad school. I got to Morgan, and I enrolled in the African American history program. It was just starting up, being run by Dr. Penn, and she decided to recruit from the top HBCUs and schools around the country. And so when I remember my first class there, I was just like, wow, 25 pages per paper, reading 3 books per week. And so, I mean, Morehouse had adequately prepared me for the rigors of grad school. And I just think, HBCUs, you forge a relationship not only with yourself, but with the people that you attend school with that you don't necessarily get at predominantly white institutions. My godbrother, he went to Morehouse and he went to Harvard also. And I distinctly remember him calling me up saying, hey man, let's go to Harvard together. And I was like, nah man, I'm gonna go down to Morgan State. And it was funny because I went to Morgan, when I got there, they gave me a full ride. They gave me 2 checks per month. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. So I have 2 daughters at home, and I tell them, listen, it's real simple. They're both academically inclined. They're both going to receive scholarships at college. I said, if we have to pay, you got 2 choices. You can go to Spelman, or you can go to Morgan, or you'll get a scholarship to go somewhere else free. But when you have to pay, we're trying to send you to HBCU. That's kind of how it is in my home.
Wow. Well, too, Mark, you persevered, starting off at Morgan. And to transfer you as well, to start off at a school you transfer, that must be difficult. I mean, to start, it's not like starting over again, but just the transition itself, you know, alone. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was difficult at first because I met a lot of friends, made a lot of friends at Morehouse, and made a lot of friends at Spelman. And so I had a lot of people, that I left, but I pretty much got it together and went to Delaware State and not started over, but just, I guess the word is, transition.
Sure.
And I went to Delaware State and made it through. But, I enjoyed my time at Morehouse College, definitely. And my father went to Morehouse, my brother went to Morehouse, so we have a lot of people, my family that, were part of Morehouse Spelman and Clark University. My mother went to Clark University, so my aunts went to Spelman, so that's a big connection in my family.
Well, there you go, Wilmington.
Yes.
Again, HBCU Delaware Talks, and again, we bring on people who have experience at college and who are successful because of college, because of perseverance more so than college. And I thank you. And Wilmington, come on out. Join the HBCU Delaware Coalition. College graduates, we need you. We need to help Wilmington. We need to help our mayor, because the more of us to go out and help Wilmington, it can impact our community, which will make it safe and which will make it better, where we can really have more programs. So I'm thanking you, Wilmington, Delaware. I thank you, Mr. Washam. I thank you, Mr. Seals, Mr. Mander, and the rest of the guests that's on here. And I thank you, Wilmington, Delaware. And I'll see you next time.